I talked about this earlier today on my community tab, but I want to make a video about this just because I think this is still laughable. So ESPN's Bill Bonnell suggested this trade for Jonah Williams. The trade, they would trade to the New York Jets and swap tackles. They would swap, obviously, our man Jonah Williams for Mekhi Becton. And no draft picks. Keep that in mind. You would be giving up Jonah Williams, not giving any draft capital in return, just getting another tackle. So you're trading a tackle for a tackle. Now you might say, well, okay, well, who is Becton? Maybe he's pretty good. Maybe he has some value. Nope, he doesn't. He doesn't at all. He has zero value, actually. He's actually worse than Jonah, except he doesn't cost as much money. The Jets would send Becton to the Bengals for Williams. Becton has played just one game, boys, in the last 2 seasons because of injuries and would require a lengthy physical, but he looks like a franchise left tackle in 2020. He would get a shot at the right side for Cincinnati, which is going to get more physically up front. So your idea is, instead of trading Jonah Williams for possibly a 4th or a 5th round pick, in all honesty, I think his value is a 4th or 5th round pick. You're going to trade him for no draft picks for a guy who has not played at all one time in the last 2 seasons. You're going to trade Jonah Williams for. So you're literally just going to waste the Bengals' time. So the Bengals are going to sit there and go, we had our thumbs in our butt this whole entire day. What if we decide to just be stupid? Who is Becton? Let's learn more about him. Becton was a former first-round pick in the 2020 NFL Draft by the New York Jets. Becton has played one game the last 2 seasons. You weren't kidding. He's actually only played one game. He played 13 games, started 13 games the rookie season, played a total of 14 games. Obviously, yes, he is a left tackle. So he would have to transition to right tackle, come back from injury, go through the whole entire process of obviously rehabbing himself, try to pass a physical, and then have a chance to play right tackle for the Bengals. Now, there isn't any information about him from last season because, what do you know? Did not play. So let's look at his first year when he did play. His first year when he did play, he had a 74.4 offensive grade, 73.9 run blocking grade, and 76 pass blocking grade. In the one game he played last season, this is actually what he got. He got a 67 overall offensive grade, 78.7 run blocking grade, 59.7 run pass blocking grade. And again, this is why he was a former, first round pick, 11th pick overall in the draft, was because of this. Like, he definitely has some value to him. And this is not the worst idea in the world when it comes to, strictly, he does have some value to him. But the reason why, since he's in the case they're in, is because, number one, they don't have a right tackle because Collins had to fight injuries all last season. He also wasn't really that great, but he also had to fight injuries all last season. Then you have, obviously, Jonah Williams, who's going to leave because he doesn't want to be on the Bengals anymore because he wants to play left tackle. He wants the left tackle money. And then going on to that, now you have the problem with Cody Ford coming in, and he's not going to be that great, and he's the starter at this moment in time. Obviously, Carmen could also go for right tackle. It just wouldn't make sense to have a problem where last year the biggest problem was the offensive line staying healthy, and then say, listen, we're going to go get a guy who has not been proven that he can stay healthy in the NFL. It doesn't make sense to me, or I think anyone watching this video, for them to go do that, right? Not at all. Especially with the fact that they're not getting any trade capital back. Don't get me wrong, I'm definitely sure Becton has a lot of value overall-wise in the NFL. He's an amazing NFL player. athlete-wise. And, in his career, he might end up becoming a really good right tackle or left tackle, in the foreseeable future. But for right now, where we're living, we're not living in this magical universe in the future. We're living right now. As of September of this year, I need a right tackle. I don't need a left tackle or right tackle in 6 years from now. I need a right tackle in 3 years from now. I don't need a project. I need a guy who can protect number 9. So if I'm sitting here saying, oh, well, in the future, Beckett could come back and be a really good tackle, I don't care about the future. I need right now. And right now, he's not the guy. And again, you could get, most likely right now, my value is a 4th or 5th round pick on Jonah Williams. Let's just go through the mock draft real fast and take a look at where we're looking at the 4th and 5th round. So, let's say we do trade Jonah Williams. Let's say we trade him to, I thought about earlier, the Titans, right? Let's say they trade for a 4th round pick, right? This might be a 3rd round pick. Let's say, whatever. Offer trade, accepted. Awesome. We're loving life. We're doing great things. Let's continue, okay? First round, as always, let's say we take Antoine Harrison. Oh, yeah. If we were to trade Jonah. See, if we were to trade Jonah and we got Becton, I still think you still probably take a guy in the first round like Antoine Harrison or DeJuan Jones. You still take an actual franchise tackle, and Becton, because of injuries, would be more or less a glorified backup right tackle, right? In this hypothetical scenario, though, we're not doing the Becton trade, okay? We traded away Jonah Williams, got the extra 3rd round pick. 3rd, 4th round pick, whatever. So I'm going to say right here, I'm probably going to go with Michael Mayer. If he's on the board. I don't think he's going to be on the board. But in this hypothetical scenario, we got the extra 3rd round pick to get a tackle in the 3rd round. So let's just say in the hypothetical scenario, this is where we're trading Jonah. We're just going to take Jonah's pick as a tackle, okay? I think realistically speaking there, we could have already took him right there. We probably should have. Alright, 2nd round. We got a couple of centers on the board I really do like. I know Sidney Brown. I've talked about it many times. I really do like Sidney Brown. I'm actually going to go with Sidney Brown here. That's a pick I haven't gone with a lot. But it actually was a pick that was a very big pick in my 100 round mock draft, right? So, 3rd round would definitely go in call books and Bowling Green. Get a star edge rusher. And now, is this the pick we have from the trade? No, where's the pick we got from the trade? Oh, that's a 5th round pick. Alright, again, like I said, I don't think it's going to be a 5th round pick, but you know what? It is what it is. If it ends up being a 5th round pick, it ends up being a 5th round pick. Let's go with Johnson. Actually, not Johnson. What am I talking about? Deuce. I don't know why I said Johnson. I could have been a completely different guy. So here's the Jonah Williams trade. Now again, could they get higher than this? Absolutely. Could they get a 3rd round pick, a 2nd round pick? Absolutely. It really comes down to negotiation skills of the Cincinnati Bengals. But here is what, if they did trade for 5th round pick, this is what we have on the board. This is a guy I've talked about many times that I do like. He is, again, I know, a left tackle can play right tackle, okay? You could draft a left tackle, make him play right tackle. This man played right tackle in college, though. He was a right tackle in college. He was at the position you need him to be, and he is ready to play right tackle in the NFL, right? He's not a left tackle, he's a right tackle, so which is good, because you already have a guy who's already, knows the position and mastered the position. 306 pounds, 6'4", big guy here. 64.3 run blocking grade, 82.1 pass blocking grade. He's a pretty all-around solid player. You could either get Warren McGlennon, or you would go and get, what's his name? You would go get Becton, who has played 1 game in the last 2 seasons. Okay? You go get Luke. Not a good example. Here's a good example. Connor Gavin. Go get Connor Gavin, who, again, like I said, you don't know the potential. All these draft picks, right? At the end of the day, they could all be busts, right? Every single draft pick we look at in these videos, they could absolutely be busts. I do talk them up a lot, and I do, talk very positive about a lot of these draft picks. But in reality, these draft picks could be busts. But Connor Galvin, for the most part, is going to be starting in this game. If you draft him, right? He's at least going to be a player who's going to be playing. You don't know Becton's going to be able to be playing. You don't know. Carter, not a really good example. Ryan Hayes, talked about him many times. He's an absolute tank. Like I said, it's not that any of these guys, 100% all these guys, Asman and Richards, are going to be absolute tanks for you guys or do amazing for you guys. But the point is that, if you're trading Jonah for Becton, you're eliminating all these possibilities. And that's why it's just, I don't like it. I don't like the trade. I don't like the idea. I think, in all honesty, again, like I said, this is a 5th round pick. You might get a 4th or 3rd round pick for Jonah Williams. In all honesty. But if we go ahead and just type in Jonah Williams, let's take a look at him. Just take a look. This is Jonathan Williams. I mean, if you guys had Jonathan Williams, that'd be really god tier. Jonah Williams. He actually is the 2nd result. So last season, 61.2 overall grade, 63.9 pass blocking, 49.9 run blocking. And someone actually did bring this up to me down below, and it's actually very true. So someone said that, yes, last season he sucked and he was awful last season, but he did have a really good 2021 campaign. And he did. He really did. The NFL was always, what have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately? And I think this is the whole idea of why he could go for a 2nd or 3rd round pick. Because he had a really good 2021 campaign. A lot of people forget how good he was in 2021. 2022, he just obviously Garbo. But 2021, he was actually pretty dang good. He wasn't amazing, but he was pretty dang good. And obviously 2020, he played a lot less offensive snaps. Had a pretty good pass blocking grade, but just struggled in the run game, where he really did good in 2021. So again, like I said, it's one of those things where it's like, I think personally you get a 2nd or 3rd round pick for him. You get a 4th or 5th round pick for him. But if someone told me, hey, listen, the Bengals just traded him for a 2nd or 3rd, I wouldn't be surprised. Right? I wouldn't be like, oh, there's no way in heck that's true. That's definitely a false news report. No, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I just think his value is a 4th or 5th round pick because he has a $12.6 million price tag put on him. If he didn't have the guaranteed money, I would say you could probably easily get a 3rd round pick for him. But the price tag definitely hurts. Again, like I said, it is what it is. I think that, this trade, in my opinion, no. I'm going to go with no for this trade. Could it work out? Could it be an amazing trade in the end? Absolutely. I just don't think that that's worth it. I think, in all honesty, you trade him, get some picks from him, and then you draft either a tackle in the draft, sign a tackle, or do something in the draft when it comes to another position, and maybe you figure it out before week 1 of week 1 of the season. I just don't think this would be smart. Jonah Williams, while, again, like I said before, there are multiple teams who are interested in trading for him, there's no reason for Cincinnati to just, take a guy who's been hurt and try to make him your starting right tackle. My personal opinion. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.